Welcome to the LE550 Advanced Demonstration. These instructions go over the information or the demonstration that you give after the basic demonstration. So this kind of takes it to the next level, whereas the basic demonstration showed you the basic capabilities of the sensor. The advanced demonstration shows you actually how to set up an application with the customer. So in this case, we're just going to do a simple two-point teach. The easiest thing to do is don't use the colored side of the wheel, use the stepped side of the wheel, because then we can go between two positions very easily. So I'm going to start with the thickest segment. So the first thing you do is you press the green button. This is going to be the full setup. So you go into menu mode, and it's going to say menu A out. So A out configures the analog output. So you press that and you'll see two-point teach on the screen right here. It'll be TCH, 2, and then PT. Press the green check mark to enter it again. So the first thing you're going to do is present the first position. So what we're going to do is you're going to teach the 4 milliamp value. So I'm going to be teaching the thickest segment. So I press the green button and it begins teaching. It says it's at 181 millimeters. So now I'm going to go to the thinnest segment. This might be a little hard to see on the screen here, but I've got the laser on the thinnest segment. The important thing to note is we're still on the teach 4 milliamps. So we have to press either one of these buttons until we see teach 20 milliamp. Now that that's present on the screen, we press the green button, and now that is taught. So it'll be 197. It's important to note that the distance between the 2 points must be at least 10 millimeters in distance. Otherwise, it'll say min wind on the display, saying that the minimum window or the minimum separation between the 2 points is not great enough. It has to be at least 10 millimeters. So now that I've taught the sensor, I can just press this push button for 5 seconds, and it'll bring me back to the main menu. And I'm back there. So now, since I'm on the thinnest segment, I'm reading 19.9. Very, very close to 20 milliamps, which is what we would expect. And then I'm going to go to the thickest segment, and I'm reading 4.1 milliamps, right about where we'd expect it to be. There's going to be a little bit of flutter off of the top points. You may not get exactly 4 milliamps or 20 milliamps, but it'll be right where you'd expect it to be. So now you can just go through the various segments and see as it changes how the analog value goes up. So as can be seen, it's very easy to set up the sensor in two-point teach mode. Now the other thing to go over is how to manually adjust these values very quickly. To do that, you just press on the main menu when you're displaying right here, you press either of these two buttons, the up or the down, and you'll see how it says 4 milliamp point, 20 milliamp point, set point 1, and set point 2. And then menu, so there's a way to get into the menu too. Now I've just exited the mode by going all the way around. Press it again, 4 milliamps. So if I wanted to adjust the 4 milliamp point, I would just press the green check mark to go into it. Same with the 20 milliamp. But what we're going to do is I set up the analog output first, going through the true menu system. What we're going to do here is just adjust the set point 1. That's actually for the discrete output. So I'm going to go in there. It's going to be 100 millimeters by default. I'm just going to put it at 105. And then I'm going to press the green check mark to take that change. And then I'm going to go to set point 2. It's at 1,000 right now, so I'm going to go in there, and I'm going to hold this down for a while. You'll see the display kind of ticking down, and it gets faster and faster as the more I hold it. So I'm going to leave it at 400. So now I'm going from 105 to 400. The discrete output is controlled by this light over here. It tells you if the physical output is on at this point in time. So I'm going to take the target out of range. And since it can't detect anything in its viewable distance, it's going to say out of range, and you'll notice that the discrete output turned off. I'm going to put a target out at 553 millimeters. And you'll notice that's outside our window. And you'll also notice that the analog is off at this point in time because that's not within the taught window for the analog sensor. I'm going to get closer and closer, and as soon as I get below 400 millimeters, you'll notice that this light will turn on, and it does. So now I just have to get close to where the analog sensor was in range, and voila, they're both on. So whenever you're within range in the analog, you'll see that light come on. And whenever you're in discrete range, more of the top hat icon will come on. And the middle one is basically telling you if the sensor is powered or not. So that's the advanced demonstration. There's a couple more key points you might want to point out at this point in time. You can get either a milliamp or a current analog output, or you can get a 0 to 10 volt voltage output for your analog. The discrete output, you can actually change its function so that that instead of just if it's within range on the discrete, you can actually make it so that it's a health output or a couple of other different features. Finally, you could go over how the case is an IP67 rated rugged design, and that we're using triangulation to do all of these measurements so that it is non-contact. So those are a couple of the more advanced items. You might want to maybe move some of those items to the basic demonstration or mix and match the various things that we've gone over here in these presentations around to make it most comfortable for you. Thank you.